It's 2014. My son is crying loudly. His diaper is full. And at 3 months old, that's a full-blown crisis. I stand up, sleep deprived, dragging myself out of bed, brain fog so thick I can barely see through it. I bend down to pick him up. And suddenly, I'm on the floor. I can't move. He's shrieking. Did I hurt him when I dropped him? I yell for help. My house help comes running. Call my husband, I whisper through the pain. I can't move. What I didn't know then, my body had given up way before my will did. A degenerated disc, a bulged disc, cervical spondylitis, prediabetes, tons of hormonal issues, 85 kilos, only 32 years old. And maybe I'd been eating a whole sponge cake as evening snack every day, just casually, because I couldn't resist. I lost 23 kgs in the next 5 months, fixed all my health issues with a vengeance. But how did I succeed when I'd failed so many times before? It's 2025. I've worked with over 36,000 people now, and I've seen one thing over and over and over again. One plan, 2 people. Same amount of time, same tools. One transforms, the other disappears in a week. Why? Because you can have the best plan in the world, but if you can't follow it, it's as good as garbage. So I became obsessed with this question. Why do some people stick to doing hard things while others give up at the first bump? Yes? My personal experience and all the people I've worked with, I realized it has to do with internal, invisible mental muscles. It's about retraining your brain to make hard things easy or easier. How? It's to do with one part of your brain called the prefrontal cortex. And these are the first 3 tools that I worked with and I think are foundational and focus on the prefrontal cortex and allow you to do this. Impulse regulation, long-term goal prioritization, and the ability to override immediate desires. Okay? Let's start with impulse regulation. Think of it as your brain's pause button. It's that space between urge and action. And for most people, it doesn't exist. I failed at it constantly. Someone would order a plate of fries or sponge cake, and before I knew it, my hand's in the bowl. What's the solution? It's called urge delay. It's simple and brilliant. When the urge hits, just pause. Just wait 2 to 5 minutes. Simple, right? In behavioral psychology, this is called stimulus control. And the research shows that even a few seconds of delay activates the prefrontal cortex, which improves stimulus control dramatically. Yes? The second, let's talk about long-term goal prioritization. Your mind undervalues future rewards. Think of it as a glitch in the system called temporal discounting. It's the reason we say things like, I'll start Monday. It's one cheat meal. One drink doesn't matter, right? Let's take an example, my client Priya. Let's call her Priya for today. She had grade 2 fatty liver and would go out drinking every weekend. Her justification, it's just one weekend. Every weekend. Her brain wasn't associating her present decisions to the future outcome. The drink to her liver, right? So we flipped the script. We said, for every drink you skip, you put 500 rupees in a jar. After 1 week or 1 month, you buy something you actually want. And it worked. Because suddenly her brain started connecting future rewards to present decisions. Research out of MIT, Stanford, all back this up. It shows that people who train their brain to delay gratification consistently outperform people who don't in areas health, wealth, and emotional well-being. They don't have stronger willpower. They have just trained the part of their brain that waits. The third skill, this one is the hardest. The ability to override immediate desires. It always shows up when you are already stressed. Right? Let's take another example, our client Neha. Every time she had a fight with her husband, she would eat 45 pani puris. 45. That's not a snack. That's a trauma response. So we said, let's give her a tool that puts her back in control, that ends the guilt. We told her, if this happens, then you will. It's called if-then planning, and it works like magic. Neha's version. If I fight with my husband, I will book a massage with his credit card. Next fight, no pani puris. Just lavender oils and very expensive 60 minutes of relaxation. Why? Because we took out the need to make a decision in the heat of the moment. The brain automatically reverted to a predefined approved solution. All the research shows that if you pre-plan, your chances of following through double. Simple. Decide ahead, let your brain automate the rest. Now, everything I've told you, impulse control, long-term goal realization, the ability to override immediate desires. Every tool, every skill has to do with one part of the brain. It's called the prefrontal cortex, or PFC. Think of it as your brain's CEO. It plans, it regulates, it overrides. It's that part that helps you say no to the easy things and yes to stuff that actually helps you change your life. If motivation is your flaky friend, PFC is like a bricklayer. It shows up, it builds and builds. And it's there when life gets hard. But you know what the issue is? No one trains it. They rely on motivation, luck, alignment of the stars. But in a world where everything around us is built and billions are spent to make things easier, where quick, easy, convenient take precedence. We no longer have an environment that helps us to learn to do hard things. Think about it. We are pushed to use quick and easy in the guise of productivity and efficiency, yes? Then the future leaders will be who? They will be people who can push themselves. People who can do things that are boring, repetitive, inconvenient, and uncomfortable. Let's pause for a moment. I want you to ask yourself, if you could train your brain to overcome all the weaknesses you believe you now have, who would you become? Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Visualize it. Who would you become? Got it? Because the science is clear. You can rewire the brain structurally and functionally at any age. And I'm old. And that means that every single time you delay an urge, you override an emotion, you choose for future rewards, is a rep. And reps build resilience. Because here's what I've seen. Successful people don't have fewer problems. They aren't naturally disciplined. They just have a brain that shows up when life doesn't cooperate. Yeah? So if Neha, Priya, and I didn't inspire you, I'll leave you with a last tiny story of a little skinny Austrian boy with a terrible accent who then decided he wanted to be the strongest man in the world. So he trained and trained and trained, and he became Mr. Olympia, the best bodybuilder of all time. But he didn't stop there. With no acting skills and an accent that he was told was a deal breaker, he trained and became a Hollywood star. But he didn't stop there either. He went on to become the governor of California, a skinny boy from Austria. Bodybuilder to actor to politician. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger doesn't build muscle. He builds futures again and again and again. He did it. I did it. You can do it. Because you don't need luck or motivation. You just need a brain that knows who it can be and doesn't flinch when life doesn't cooperate. Thank you.